Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome back to day 2 of the Esri Imagery and Remote Sensing Educator Summit. I'm Laurie Jordan, Corporate Director of Imagery and Remote Sensing.
And I'm Jerry Miller, Director of Education at Esri and faculty at Johns Hopkins University. And we look forward to being with you today and continuing some of the wonderful discussions.
Great, thanks, Jerry. And yes, for the benefit of our colleagues who weren't able to join us yesterday, let's start by doing a quick recap of the goals of this summit. So an overarching desire of the team that designed this was to really provide a forum for the members of the academic community to share not just with us, but particularly with each other, remarkable progress, success stories, and projects that are happening throughout higher education in imagery and remote sensing. And during this time of pandemic, of course, there are a number of challenges that educators are faced with, particularly in remote learning environments. There are continuing issues and challenges that we struggle with. How do we increase diversity in the workforce that we're training to be the future leaders of our profession? And also, for example, this tidal wave of new software capabilities that continue to come out across the board. Is a very, very fertile and innovative time at Esri for imagery and remote sensing, and we're going to be showing you for the first time some of the brand new tools that are coming out today with our product manager, Peter Becker, for imagery. And it's quite remarkable capabilities that you're going to be very interested to see. This is also going to give you some context throughout the day to provide some answers to questions as a way of giving us your input and feedback so that we can tailor our roadmap and our development plans to make sure that we're being of service to you. Perhaps probably most importantly here at the end, an opportunity to learn from each other as we all aspire to be students for life, part of lifelong learning. So Jerry, I know you have a very content-rich agenda that you're anxious to share with us today. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Absolutely, Laurie. So we have a wonderful day with lots and lots of interesting sessions, and we look forward to some productive discussions. We have our lightning talks that are going to be similar to yesterday, but today's are going to be a little bit more focused on research work that is taking place. And after these lightning talks, we'll have a series of questions and answers. So as we go through all of these sessions, we do encourage you, similar to what we did yesterday, ask as many questions as you can in our Q&A tool in the Zoom webinar. Then we'll proceed with how the Academy works with Esri sessions. So there are a couple of special sessions here. And it's interesting when, yesterday, I think maybe we have confused some folks in terms of this term Academy. Well, we're talking with Laurie yesterday, and he mentioned that Jack likes using the word Academy. And really what we mean by that is the education community, academic community. So what this session is going to be about is how the academic community works with Esri. We get lots of questions from community that pertain to things like, how do I get access to Esri technology? Or I know I already have it on campus, but who do I go to for help and support? Or what is included in the education program that my institution has? Or what are some of the resources that are available to me as an educator that can help supplement some of my work? So we'll take a look at some of these questions and then have a discussion about them. And we'll have a special session on what's new with Esri Imagery and Remote Sensing. So Peter Becker, our product manager for Imagery and Remote Sensing, is going to facilitate this for us. And then if you recall, yesterday we had 3 different working groups on 3 broad topics of drones, 3D imagery, as well as geo-AI. So we'll come back to those topics. We'll sum up some of the results and continue the discussion. And then we'll finish with a closing session and a panel that Dr. Dawn Wright is going to moderate for us. And we'll, of course, reflect on everything that has happened and address any outstanding questions. So before we move on to the lightning talks, we wanted to mention some of the resources that are available out there. And as we go throughout the day, we'll keep referencing some of these resources and have further discussions about them. I'm going to share a couple of items there. On the event page, there is a resources link, so event resources that have a number of different sections. So a few trainings and tutorials that are available, and a little later, we're going to extensively cover this first one. So the imagery and remote sensing learn ArcGIS materials that are specifically designed for educators, that contain activities, that contain slides, and so on. So Delphine Kana from the Learn ArcGIS team is going to share some of this wonderful work with us. We have a MOOC that is coming up that begins August 11th. So we're highly encourage you to take a look at it. And again, logins completely free to anyone globally. So feel free to take advantage of this wonderful offering. Another one is the Learn ArcGIS site. So the same team that produced the imagery and remote sensing curriculum, I'm going to switch over here for a second. In case you have not seen it, there's lots and lots and lots of other lessons and tutorials that can, again, supplement some of the work that we're doing. And then obviously as educators, we'll take it a step further, but there's a special section on imagery and remote sensing, special section, spatial analysis, data science, and so on and so on. So lots and lots of lessons. Of course, Esri training. So some of you might recall from yesterday, there were quite a few folks that have been using ArcGIS technology for a while. If you remember the old virtual campus. So now it's the Esri Academy. It's the e-learning courses that we have, tons of web courses, instructor-led courses that are available as well. So we highly encourage you to take a look at those. And there's lots of wonderful, wonderful items that we can pick and choose from there that would help supplement some of the stuff, the curriculum that we're teaching or the work that we're doing in general. Another resource, there's a landing page for imagery and remote sensing in higher education that again has a number of different sections there in terms of tools to use, learnings, curricula, various webinars that we have done, various success studies of how imagery and remote sensing technology has been used and has been leveraged. I'd also like to point out to the Esri Press books that are on there's a link to a few of these books on the main resources page for the event. Lots and lots of options there. If you are one of those educators who is leveraging books, there's one for imagery and GIS. There's quite a few other ones that are there. And as hopefully you know, as educator, you do get what we used to call the desk copy. So you can get free books to take and to evaluate for use in your own class. And we use Vital Source as a vendor to go and to request some of those book resources. And lots of other items here. I'm not going to go over all of them, but I will mention one more, and that is the Esri community and lots of different blogs and resources that are available through it. So many of you, I'm sure, hopefully know of GeoNet, and we kind of revamped it, retitled it to the Esri community. And it's a wonderful resource that you can go and rely on, ask questions, have a discussion with product experts, and with, of course, various other industry specialists that we have. So we have things grouped by products, things grouped by industries. There's a special section for education as well. So again, lots of different resources to get us started. And all of these are produced, of course, with when we think about some of these resources, especially some of the education pages are with the educator community in mind. So with that said, again, as we go through, we'll even cover further resources, especially some of the working group results one, but this hopefully kind of gets us going with some wonderful information and things that we can refer back to.